Oh, look, we already have like 200 people in this room.
That's You're welcome to the
No, no,
new.
that's good. Yeah, go to Clubhouse. Hey, Clubhouse friends, we're doing this webinar, this Zoom webinar of my buddy Paul Ryazanov of MageCloud. But I figured, hey, let you guys listen in at the same time. You won't be able to see my screen, but you should be able to follow along.
Yeah, so guys, it's Paul here from the MageCloud, and we're also doing this in the parallel with our audience on the Zoom. So I would like to welcome for this webinar. I would like to welcome my buddy. I know Dennis for, I don't know, maybe almost like 10 years, from 2012, I think.
Yeah.
He's one of the keynote speakers on any conferences. He's always open to share his knowledge. He's teaching Facebook for all the time. He's teaching of the Snapchat. He's testing a lot of stuff with the big accounts. From what I know, he's always getting access to the new stuff that Facebook launching, and he's kind of operate as a beta tester. I know he was blocked by Facebook, which is few times, so he knows how to recover from that as well. So guys, just welcome Dennis, you over here. Dennis, the screen is yours. Go ahead, share it, and yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy.
Awesome. All right, here we go. Hopefully I can make technology work properly. Okay, so I thought we would, oh,
I don't see your screen. I'm still
come
see your
here.
awesome face. Your awesome new haircut. I see it.
Oh, yes. Okay. You guys can see my screen, right?
I can see it all good, and I will put myself on the mute for now. Right?
Okay.
It's all yours, man. Thank you.
So we always teach by example. And I want to show a few examples of things that are working well in Facebook. So we have had some issues with our main business manager, but you can see we've got lots and lots of business managers, which you should have as well. Not because you're a spammer or you're just trying to create more of them, but if you're an agency, then you're going to make sure each of your clients has a business manager, because that's necessary to be able to operate and do things like custom audiences, which you guys already know about. And across all the different clients we have, it's quite a bit. And you're going to set up a business manager for your Snapchat and for your TikTok at the same time. See, you can see here that it's the same thing. You literally are doing the same thing, like here, business.snapchat.com, just like, you know, business.facebook.com. And the setup is a little bit wonky. So if you think Facebook Business Manager was hard, I remember when they first launched it, I'm going to say it was maybe 7 years ago. And people were saying, my friends at GoDaddy, we did some webinars. And I said, yeah, if you're doing Facebook ads, you need to be on Business Manager. And the people who ran social media for GoDaddy would say, no, it's too difficult. You know, you shouldn't be on Business Manager. And I said, no, you really need to, because that's how you're going to organize all of your people, all of the ad accounts you have, all of the assets that you have. And what I said this is in front of a lot of people. This is the entire GoDaddy audience. And we did it live, we did it as webinars. And I said, you know, even if it's just you and you don't have other people, you don't have other businesses and whatnot, you're still going to need a business manager, because they're going to want to collect more of your data. And that's exactly what's happening with iOS 14 and what you're seeing happening with Google Privacy Sandbox and Chromium, and, you know, the pixels going away, right? You know, all the cookies are dying next year, right? So you could see that I was basically, I didn't predict this part, but I knew it was going to be important. So I'm going to show you some things on the structure of ad accounts on Facebook that apply to TikTok and Snapchat. And by the way, if you've not set up your TikTok and Snapchat ad accounts and the corresponding business managers, then I recommend that you do that, and also do it by getting free money. So full disclosure, Snapchat and TikTok have reached out to us, and we are a partner. So they asked us to create training on Snapchat, on TikTok ads, which is great, right? Because they said, oh, you guys have all the training on Facebook ads. Can you do the same for us? And we're like, we're happy to. So you're going to see more stuff come out on the TikTok for business blog, and the same for Snapchat. So if you sign up with us, you get free money. I think $150 on Snapchat and $200 on TikTok, plus another $2,000 on TikTok when you spend the first, I forgot the exact amount, like a couple $100. All right, I'm going to go with an example here. You guys have probably seen the face socks that we have. And this is where you can put your dog or cat's face or your face on socks, but also masks. This is really popular. Then we call these lit mitts. So all kinds of personalization printing here, right? And you can see that there's lots of examples. There's a lot of UGC, and we're primarily using Facebook ads to drive sales here. Between this and the other places where we're doing the same thing. So if we go to blitzgifts.com, see, you never see anybody in eCom show this stuff off, but I'm actually about to log in and show you this. These are all Shopify stores, very easy to do. You can see the same thing, right? Here, you can come get your face socks. And if you know me, you've probably gotten your face socks. Right here it is. And then it comes with a handwritten note. And we're selling close to 7 figures a month doing this, which is kind of neat. Okay. And so we've got all this UGC of people that are submitting pictures of their faces with socks on them. So let's go over here into the ad account. And this is for pet party, but we've got a few of them. And they're all the same thing. It's for sports or for pets or for business, but either way, it's customization of your face or your pet's face. And I'm at the campaign level, and you can see that we've got 85 campaigns. So we've done a lot of testing, 1.3 million here in spend. And let's look at just the top level to see what's going on here. And then we're going to drill into what the strategy is on bidding and targeting and this kind of thing. So this has driven us 143 million impressions for 28 million reach. So that gives us a frequency of about 4, right? Maybe 5. And I care about this because I want to know generally, what does Facebook think about my ads? Regardless of whether it's converting, this is a secondary metric. Of course, it's got to convert. Of course, I have to be profitable, but I just want to look at it always from Facebook's standpoint. So when I look at the breakdown by delivery, now I'm able to see that my cost, and you can see here, right? I can group it by any of these other metrics or set of metrics. My CPM is $8.96, which I would have said 2-3 years ago that was high, and that's actually average now on Facebook, especially when you do remarketing. The smaller the audience, the more they're going to charge you. And this is something I've seen especially true on Facebook, but not so much on the other networks. So this is another argument that you want to set your audiences larger, not because you just want to hit people randomly, but because the system's going to be able to optimize for you, and they're not going to charge you as much on that traffic. So you get a double win here. Now you look over here, my cost per 1,000 people reached is $45. So why is that? $45 per 1,000 people. That's kind of high. That's 4 cents per person, right? $45 is 4,000 pennies. 4,000 pennies on 1,000 people is 4 cents. That's how I do the math. But if my CPM per 1,000 impressions is $8.96 and it's 45 per 1,000 reach, that means that my frequency is about 5, right? Actually, here it is, 5.09. The average person is seeing my ad 5 times, but it could be 5 times across 3 or 4 different campaigns. It could be 5 times of the exact same ad. It could be across different ad sets. So when I look at my frequency here, in this case, this is a lifetime. This account's been going for a couple of years. It's not necessarily bad. A lot of people say, well, you shouldn't have the frequency go above 2 per ad set per week. Well, yeah, generally true, but then frequency in audience network versus mobile newsfeed and all that's very different. So I could go over here and then break it down by where, let's see, I can, here we go, right? I can go by all these other sorts of factors, but I don't want to do that right now. Okay, now let's look at what actually counts. I want to see, are we making money or not? So I've got all these different ways that I can look at the data. By default, I look at performance, and sometimes I set up another view and I'll call it, I love Paul Razanoff, right? just for fun. And we used to name these things and name our campaigns and name our ads we love Facebook reps, right? That way we'd be less likely to be disapproved. Or we even, like this actually worked. We would name campaigns, please don't disapprove, I need this to pay rent, right? I'm just telling you, it's kind of the thing that works. Okay, so you can see here that we're measuring how many purchases we have. And we know that if we get a purchase for less than $30, you know, if our CPA is less than $30, in other words, our ROAS is at least a 1, we're doing pretty well. Why? Because there's repeat purchases. Because people who buy one pair of socks will often add another one. Because why not? It's cheaper, right? You can get one pair for 25, 2 pairs for 40. If you use the coupon, you get 20% off, so it's even cheaper. And these things work so well that because we send them a coupon once they buy to get another one, and then their friends see this. So, and a lot of that's going to be unattributed. And if you have a good product or service, you're actually going to have a lot of unattributed. And we call that, there's another piece of it that we call delayed attribution. And delayed attribution is in the current window of 28 days, which is now 7 days. You know, Facebook cut the window to 7 days because of this whole iOS 14 thing. Your ROAS and sales and all that are going to appear to be lower, but actually they're just as good as they were. They just changed the window that they're reporting the data. Okay. So let's look at some of these. WCA 60 and WCA 7. This is website custom audience 60 days, website custom audience 7. That's a site-wide audience, which is driven by the pixel, which sits inside our Google Tag Manager. And you can see in this particular ad set, we've had 13,000 clicks, 1,800 purchases. So you can do the math, that's about 15%. So that means our remarketing is working pretty well. So people who didn't buy on the second time or third time, and by the way, the frequency is going to be a lot higher. So if we come over here and look at our frequency under the delivery view, see our frequency is an 8 just in this ad set. And look, our cost per people reached is $93. Holy moly, right? Our base CPM is 11 because the frequency is an 8. My cost per reach is 93. Yet even with that, if I go back to performance, my ROAS is still excellent, right? And I can see here, ROAS here is 1.7, and your ROAS is going to differ. You just need to know what the math is on what you're doing. Some people, they need to have an ROAS of 5. So a lot of people in eCom, their overall blended ROAS, they need to be at 4 or 5 because they can't afford more than a 20% marketing cost of sale. It depends on what your margins are, lifetime value, all these kinds of things, right? And we can see that for these 13,000 clicks, we can see what the cost is, $28,000. That seems kind of high, but our conversion rate is very good. So you can see, because we have a 15% conversion rate, it's okay for us to pay a few dollars per click. Now I can shift to performance and clicks as another view and see that that's the case. So $2. My click-through rate is not that good at 0.55. So my low click-through rate and my small remarketing audience causes Facebook to penalize me and say, hey, we're going to nail these guys because their relevance score is relatively low, right? So that means low engagement, low click-through rates, pretty high conversion rate. So the cost of the traffic is higher, but here I'm bidding to conversion because I set the objective at conversion. How do I know? Because when I go back to performance, it looks at the objective that I've chosen, right? And I can go down to the ads level and start to see, what's going on here. Okay. And by the way, our friends who are on Clubhouse, this says listen only because we're doing a live webinar with my buddy Paul Razanoff of MageCloud. And we're going through some live accounts, which you guys get to hear, but you can't see. So Paul will publish this recording a little bit later. So let's look at it at the ad level and see how our performance is doing. I like to go by amount spent descending. That's my first metric. Anytime there's a lot of ads in here, because you can see there's 2,958 ads, right? That's a lot of ads. And by the way, the new strategy to win, you don't have to create as many ads. We've done a lot of testing. And so that's why we have so many ads over time. And we have a huge team that's collecting UGC because you can see people are submitting their faces and people love their pets. People love promoting their friends. See these ones? There's just so many examples of people that are submitting their dogs. They love their dogs. and we give this stuff out to influencers, and we say, hey, if we give you some socks with your dog's face or your face, would you be willing to share that on social media? Of course, they say yes, because most influencers are not professional influencers. They're just happy to receive acknowledgement and be treated special. Okay, so we can see these ads, and we can see we're keeping the ROAS above 1. This website purchase ROAS of 1 really translates to a true ROAS of 3, because we have delayed attribution, which is sales that occurred later that are untrackable. And then we have the actual attribution that comes from, first click versus last click. By the way, all the data you have here by definition is last click. A lot of people are like, oh no, I can set the attribution here because, I can choose these windows, and yeah, okay, come down here. And if I come here and hit customize columns, where I'm looking at the different views, and I can come down here in the bottom, and you see it says attribution window, comparing windows. You see here where it says, I've got 6 windows. So I have a 1/7/28 view, and I have a 1/7/28 click. This is not attribution modeling. Most people think this is attribution. This is not. This is last click. This is all last click. Everything in Ads Manager, everything across all the data you see in Facebook is all by default last click. What's occurring here is, and by the way, if you're performance oriented in any sort of way, you need to understand this. And a lot of people, yeah, Dennis talks about attribution, this and that. Who cares? Like conversion's a conversion. No, it's not. We're looking here. Here we're saying, what data do we want to be able to include? So when we talk about attribution models, and we're looking at data models. So the data is what data we include. The model is how do we award credit. So here the data is, do we include, by default, I've got this box checked, right, which is 1-day view, and now it's 7-day click. But I can say, I only want to look at 1-day click data. Well, in that case, all of a sudden your conversion is going to look not as good, because it's not going to count any of the view through conversions, right? A view through can still be a last click. The only way to get to attribution data is inside the business manager, and I come down and I look at attribution. So you see here, attribution. And this is where I configure my event source groups. Here under analytics, this is where I actually get access to Facebook analytics. Almost nobody uses Facebook analytics. Like they think like, oh yeah, I've got analytics. I go to my page, I see how much reach, how many clicks, how many video views, I see my different posts. I can download that data and all that. That is not Facebook analytics. This is Facebook analytics. Facebook analytics allows me to see, here, I'll just click on it just to show you for real quick. It's the equivalent of Google Analytics. I can literally see like how many people came to my website and what they're doing. So here I've got a group of hotels. Here I've got our website. We have all these different analytics entities. Look at this, business asset groups. They have all this weird terminology here. I don't want to go into this right now. But there's so many things people don't understand about Facebook. Facebook has their own website analytics, just like Google Analytics. And you can do funnels, and you can do conversion tracking. You can do all kinds of cool stuff. It's not just what happens on the Facebook page and what happens, in the Facebook ad account. They've created all kinds of ridiculous things in here. Okay, another session, we should cover all of that. Let's go back to this one here. And we said that we want to maintain at least a 1 ROAS, because we know that from a direct attribution standpoint, if it's a 1, it's going to be a 3. And I want to do whatever I can in terms of getting more content to be able to feed the machine. Okay. So here's how we're thinking about Facebook. There's your plumbing, which is all the tracking. So basically tracking the most important thing here, in this case, conversions. So when people check out in Shopify, or it could be whatever it is that you consider a conversion. Someone fills out a form, they book an appointment. And then I need goals, content, and targeting. So the goal, in this case, ROAS. I set that as a target, or my cost per lead is $20, or whatever it is. You need to have a hard number goal for the bottom of the funnel. Content, which is the most important part. Targeting, we're running off of retargeting, and then large audiences like a 1% lookalike against purchases, against low funnel seed audiences. Like I take my conversions, Not people who've been to my website. I'm not going to create a lookalike on that, but a lookalike against people who've actually bought the highest quality signal. As long as I have a couple hundred people, technically you could do it off of 20 plus or 50 plus, but really you need a couple hundred people. Otherwise they're going to be, the algorithm's going to be confused. Okay. You need 200 really, really good customers. Upload that email, a list of emails, or maybe you have it through custom audiences, and then you create lookalikes against it. And then we need lots and lots and lots of content. So you can see the majority of the content here, and this is the way we're labeling this. Like you can see this is called UGC Flash, right? So if I come and look at this, and by the way, if you do eCom, this is something most people don't do. Oh, look, now they're saying I need to request a review. Oh, what is going on here in this one? Your pet's face on your face, pet party / mask. Okay, look, see? So it's working very well, right? And you can see we've tied in the Instagram account. So we've taken the Instagram account, made it a business account. You're not going to lose reach, by the way. People are like, oh no, don't convert to business, you lose reach. And we tie it inside the business manager. That's another reason to have business manager, and you'll see different variations of these. And you can see the performance if we go here to the reporting to see, how we're working on how the performance is by, mobile news feed versus audience network versus, whatever where it is. And you can see that we've got lots and lots of these. And what we do is that inside each of these ad sets, we have a number of creatives that we will test. It used to be that because Facebook's algorithm was kind of dumb, you would just do the equivalent of Google's single keyword ad groups. So you would just have one ad inside each ad group and have lots and lots of ad groups or ad sets, whatever you want to call them, the same thing, so that the system would just keep allocating more and more test impressions. So if the system is dumb and it's just going to give 2,000 impressions to each new ad set, you create lots and lots of ad sets. The system's gotten a lot smarter. So now you just have 2 or 3 creatives in each ad set. Let it find a winner and scale it up. And if it doesn't work, then just create another ad set or just add more creatives to that existing ad set if it's already working. But can you see this? That these are all combinations of UGC. And the bottom line here, if any of this stuff is technical and is somewhat confusing, here's the key point to know for Facebook is the quality of the video content and your ability to continue to collect video content with your VAs and your video editors that process this kind of stuff is the key to driving sales. Because when you put your content in here and you set your objective to be, I want a 1 ROAS, or I want conversions at less than $30 or whatever it is, the system is going to do the targeting for you. So if you look inside our targeting for audiences, you'll see we don't do a lot of fancy targeting. Like you would think that we would do targeting for all the people who like the sports team, or all the people who have golden retrievers, or all the people who have, whatever it is. We don't do that. We're literally just running custom audiences and large lookalike audiences, right? Oh, accept terms. What is this? I thought I accepted terms on all of these. Every one of these things, yeah, you have to click accept. Do I have any that I didn't accept? I'm going to accept these ones. Okay, see, and you can see, the size of the audience and whatnot, but we're basically just using really large lookalike audiences. We even test off of, lookalikes on page fans, or lookalike on people who have been to the website. Or that's not as good. The lookalikes against bottom of funnel is where you want to be. So you can see here, lookalikes against people who have bought something in the last 180 days. And these ones tend to perform a little bit better because there's a lot of people, especially in eCom, who will click on things but never buy anything. And I think that's a real shame, because I remember I was in a meeting with Facebook and I was with their manager of, what was his name? I don't remember the exact title, but basically he was in charge of the Facebook ads auction. And he said that his sister was on Facebook. She didn't have a credit card, but she just loved to click around on Facebook, and she would, click on ads where there were things for sale. She didn't have a credit card, but Why would she click on it? I don't know. Maybe she just was window shopping or thought it was fun to click on things, but you really do want to have your, you want to choose the right objective, and you don't want to choose website clicks. You don't want to choose, something like, you don't want to choose video views unless it is someone who is already, who already is in a custom audience grouping, right? So for remarketing, you can choose website views when it's a small audience, but you wouldn't want to do things like website views or whatnot when it's top of funnel. Okay, I'm going to show you something on this, which is a little more counterintuitive, but I think it's critical. So we're going to go, let's see, what are we going to do? Oh, I've got too many things open here. All right, here we go. I'm going to create a new campaign. Actually, no, I'm not going to create a new campaign because I got a problem on this one. But when I create a campaign, I get the choice of 3 stages in the funnel: awareness, consideration, conversion. I'm going to use my top of funnel content. So the content is top of funnel. And I'm going to use conversion as my objective. So in this case, I'm looking at purchases, okay? So this is going to sound weird. You see here, it's like prospecting. So we have all the stuff that's top of funnel content, I'm using bottom of funnel objectives. So what I'm not saying is use bottom of funnel content with bottom of funnel objectives. So I'm still doing top of funnel, but instead of choosing reach or video views, I'm choosing purchases to send the right signal to get the people who actually would purchase, even though I'm only giving them top of funnel content and maybe I'm not having a call to action. Conversely, when I have bottom of funnel content, I can use top of funnel as the objective. So people who have been to the site or they abandoned the shopping cart, I can do video views, I can do engagement, I can do it as a boosted post. And people say, well, why wouldn't you just use, bottom of funnel conversion objectives for bottom of funnel content? It's because if I don't get to 50 conversions per ad set per week, then the system is going to still be stuck in learning. It's going to jack up my price, my average CPMs. So try that, try flipping it and see how it works. Because if they've already consumed 15 seconds of my video as a through play conversion, or they've been to my website, or they added to the shopping cart, if I know the quality is good, then I don't need the system to sub-optimize the conversion. And therefore, I'm not going to pay a lot higher of a price. So hopefully that makes sense there. Now I want to switch over into Snapchat, and I have TikTok open here. Here we go. Yeah. Now with these guys, it's the same thing. If you have your plumbing set up, meaning you have your pixel, right? So your TikTok and your Snapchat pixel, you install it the same way, stick it inside the container for your Google Tag Manager. When you're here to create an account, or sorry, yeah, you're gonna have all your accounts inside your business manager. So just like with Facebook, you saw it was business.facebook.com. Here it's business.tiktok. I've got all the same things. It's not exactly the same because they're trying to, I'm probably not supposed to tell you, but they're intentionally copying Facebook's thing in the way they set up ads. Why could they want to make it easy for anyone who is running ads on TikTok to just copy over their Facebook stuff? Is it exactly the right way and whatever? No, there's some bugs, but you can see they're generally trying to do it, right? Literally, you have these users, you have partners, audiences, like it's the same thing here, right? You can see it's the same. Oh, this one doesn't have any of these shared audiences. Oh, because we're inside the business manager. So now I can go inside, I think I have it already open. Yeah, I'm already inside this one. And this is for Dr. Brandon Brown, who is a chiropractor. Doesn't matter, it's going to be the same thing. I'll show you. So when I'm in the creation stage, I can, let's say I go for website conversions or website traffics. But, remember, I'm using the same plumbing, the same conversion tracking, the same pixels. So I choose my TikTok pixel, and by default, you want to choose automatic placements. I don't believe that you should ever tamper with the placements with any of the networks. I think just always choose that. Instead of $1 a day, I have to choose at least 20. And so I guess instead of the $1 a day thing that you guys know about. I would do 20 a day, and it's $5 on Snapchat. And I don't believe in running continuously, because that's like leaving the water on and hoping that you're going to remember to turn it off later. I like to put it out there just for a week or so. And then whatever your conversion or lead is worth, maybe it's worth $30 or something like that. And then, yeah, this suggested thing is not very intelligent. So they have no idea what our conversions are. So they say, $1.12, whatever. And then I upload, this one. Yeah, form submission. Okay. Oh, I messed up here. Listing the budget of the group. Oh, yeah. That's right. I forgot this part here. So I'll set this to 20. If you're not getting the 50 conversions per week, it's not going to make this $5 higher. They're not going to be able to optimize that conversion anyway. I don't think their conversion optimization is very smart. So you can see here that I can upload my video, and I can literally just upload the same vertical videos that I have had from Facebook. Now, what I can't do is boost a post. So what I normally do on Facebook on a page is I would boost that post and run it against a custom audience, or inside Ads Manager, I would run against like a 1% lookalike choosing conversion. I can't do that here because they have not connected the organic side with the paid side, which is good for people like the rest of us, because it's just, I don't want to be singing and dancing on TikTok, but I do want to run ads, right? I do want to drive conversions. So I would upload all these things from my library and run the same thing. I'm looking for conversions just like I am on Facebook. It doesn't matter about the targeting piece where a lot of people are like, okay, well, TikTok and Snapchat, that's for teens. I'm trying to reach people who are, 40 plus, or they're business executives. You can do targeting there, but if you're doing retargeting, which is where we recommend starting on TikTok and Snapchat, it doesn't matter, because if it's retargeting, these are people who have already visited your site, people who are already in your email list. So this is just guaranteed free money on TikTok and Snapchat. Let me show you the same setup over here now move over to Snapchat. So I'm inside this particular ad account in iHomes, Colorado, and you'll see here the same kind of thing where is this? Now I'm getting confused myself. Here we go. So they have the equivalent of their business manager, right? So when I come in, I create an ad. Same thing here. I have the 3 stages of the funnel of awareness, consideration, conversion. They have the same objective names as you see on Facebook. TikTok and Snapchat are copying these guys to do the same thing. And I almost never choose top of funnel objectives, because I think that's just wasting money. Because I think a lot of brands they love the idea of reach and views and all this. But you see this here? We have the same 3 stages. The objectives are called almost the exact same thing on Facebook. So here, awareness, consideration, conversion, right? Those are the categories. And then I can drive engagement, lead gen, website conversions, right? So in this case, let's say I want website conversions, and I'm going to keep all these other pieces the same. So I'm not going to worry about split testing. And I just love going for single image or video, because I'm just going to reuse the things that I had on Facebook. Placements, I'm keeping on automatic placements. Location targeting, if I'm a local business, then I'm going to go down to, say, like Denver, or wherever it is that I want to go. The thing with TikTok, which makes it more of a national advertiser play, is that I can't target lower than the state level. So if I'm a local business in LA and I'm a real estate agent, I don't want to target all of California. It's too big. But here I can target down, much smaller. Of course, like everywhere else, I have demo targeting, provided that it's legal. So it is illegal in the United States to do demographic targeting when it comes to employment or housing or things that have discriminatory policies. But apparently you can sort of get away with it. I wouldn't do it though, because I don't think it really matters. You can do this sort of targeting here. Oh, a lot of people, they like to spend time messing around inside targeting. And you can inside Snapchat and TikTok. but I don't recommend it. I don't think that's really the key. I think the key is re-uploading your 1-minute videos that have been working on Facebook. But just for fun, look, do you remember there were partner category targets on Facebook where you could target all of the Axiom and Data Logics and Info USA? Here, look, literally here, Experian. People who are in farms, fishing, or forestry, retired, sales, tech and science, presence of children, 10 to 12. So you have all of these different sorts of targets that are here. This is the stuff that Facebook got rid of because of the whole Cambridge Analytica thing. Look, Data Logic, Spanish speakers, small business employees, small business decision makers. This is the stuff we couldn't, look, household income, $250,000 plus. I don't know if it's that accurate, but this is the stuff that Facebook got rid of, but we can use these things here. They said they did it because of Cambridge Analytica, but I think the reason why is, the actual reason is because no one was using it, because they didn't know how to use it. So for example, here, like moms, high net worth, whatever. And the second thing is, anytime these targets were being used, Facebook had to pay a royalty to these data source providers. So it was just a convenient way to cut out Axiom and these other guys here, right? I have these other sorts of audiences. Look at this. I'm not sure how smart these are, but certainly depending on your category, like here, fitness enthusiast, cycling, running, yoga, right? I would think that at some point these might go away, but maybe not. I mean, I don't, or maybe, you know, Facebook is the one that's getting in trouble and everyone else can kind of draft behind this, the guy who's speeding, you know, in traffic, the one in the front is the one who gets the ticket. And the other people can just kind of draft behind. Like, no one's getting mad about Twitter. Twitter's always had the same kind of targeting, just as good as Facebook has, but no one really cared about them. See, look, pet and animal lovers, so I could target this for pet party. And then when I do, I can see my audience sizes going down. And then I can say animal lovers that are in the Ukraine or whatnot, and who also are friends with Paul Razanov and like MageCloud. Now, they wouldn't do that. But you can see here, right? I can start to do detailed targeting, meaning I can say, you know, they're this and this and this criteria are true, so the number will continue to go down, right? And look, they try to trick me based on your daily budget of $50. I'm not going to spend $50. I'm going to spend $5, right? Look at this. They keep trying to trick me. And by the way, don't put in 5.00 as your budget, because most people will, I mean, they might do it right, but I've seen people put it, accidentally make it $500, and then they come and complain and, you know, this kind of thing. And this is reasonably smart. It's not as smart as Facebook's, but you can see here, right? Based on your $5 budget, your reach is going to be 5,000 to 14,000 and the same number of impressions. And then swipes. So Snapchat is a cost per swipe up. So it's CPSU. So you can kind of think of that as like a click, right? But look at this estimate here. So $5 to get me 5 to 14,000 impressions, that works out to less than $1 per 1,000 people that I'm reaching. You know, you saw what the cost was on Facebook. It was $9. And for most people, it's like $20 or $50. Like, you saw some of our custom audiences were up at like $15, $20. So if I can get stuff for only $1 and I can run against my custom audiences because I've configured my pixel the right way, then I'm using Snapchat and TikTok as an arbitrage channel for remarketing. Okay. I don't think people really quite understand how powerful that is. So now I want to take a look at some of these stats, just so you can take a look at which campaign am I in. I'll go back a little further. And here's some. So I got a coupon. Oh, the coupon is the one you get for free. So if you message Stephanie at blitzmetrics.com, we'll give you the coupon. But literally, you can see what we're doing here. So I can look at this, and they break down some basic insights, and they tell us who these people are. It's not that informative. I really care about impressions, but you can see $3, we're targeting Phoenix. Here's what the interests are. Even if I'm not targeting by interest, it's just telling me of the people that I hit, here's, you know, who they're engaging with. If I go back to the ads and I look at the performance, they don't give me a lot of columns here. You can see these ones here. So there's a lot of stuff related to app installs. I don't care about that. I can do leads. They do video, but The videos are already shorter, so I don't really care that much about 25, 50, 75. Most of these are geared towards mobile folks. I don't think these custom events are going to stick around because of iOS 14, even though I think most people are willing to. Most people who use Snapchat are going to say yes to the prompt on, yes, I'm going to give, Snapchat access to my data. I think for Facebook, it's going to be the other way around when this prompt comes out in the next few weeks. But you can see, here's the different metrics that I can look at. So my cost per click is basically my cost per swipe up. You could take your existing ads, and then what you could do is say, you could add a little video part where you have your hands going from the bottom to the top, and you say, hey, swipe up to learn more about, whatever it might be. Look, this one is 5 cents per swipe up. ECPSU, right? The effective cost per swipe up, 222 swipe ups. So whatever it is you're trying to get people to swipe up, and if you are an agency, you're trying to get your clients to swipe up, it may be a little bit awkward, but just say, okay, what I just need you to do is look into have your friend hold the camera, look into it and say, hey, swipe up to learn more about whatever. Swipe up to schedule an appointment. Swipe up to see the deal that we have for you on such and such, right? You have a lot more creative leniency too. You're not going to get all these crazy ad disapprovals because the Snapchat and TikTok teams are eager to talk to you. Just like with Google, it's easy to talk to a real human. It's very hard to talk to a real human at Facebook. I know this. And you can optimize the stuff. And if you're stuck, then they'll help you. Like now I've switched over to TikTok, just like I was on, ads.snapchat.com. I'm on ads.tiktok.com, just like I'm on ads.facebook.com. And you'll see here, 15 cent cost per click, 7 cent cost per click. And this ad group is called, or campaign is called 3_ top vids. 3_ means conversion. So 1_ is awareness, 2_ is consideration. So top, middle, bottom, 1_, 2_, 3_. And I put the top videos that worked on Facebook and I put them over here for retargeting. And I can also put it against like lookalike audiences or audiences that I think are going to be very similar. The click-through rate is pretty good here. Look, this one, 4.5%. The click-through rate is going to be higher on TikTok and Snapchat than Facebook because there's not many advertisers there right now, and people are still, the marketers haven't come in and ruined it yet. You remember when Instagram was awesome, maybe 7, 8 years ago, and then they said, oh, we're going to start running ads on Instagram. And the first ads were interesting because it was made by interesting brands and folks who had access like us. We got early. We were always like one of the first to get access. And then all these other marketers came in, and now it's a default placement. So anyone who runs ads on Facebook by default is running on Instagram, whether they know it or not, right? And now it sucks, and the click-through rate's not as good as it used to be. But I'm hoping you're seeing that there's a parallel structure between every one of these ad accounts. Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat, Twitter, sort of. Why? Because social networks are on your phone. And because they're on your phone, they engage with people. People engage with you, and the users engage in the same way. And look, you're seeing my face. You see the halo around me. I wonder if our Clubhouse people can't hear me, but I hope you guys are you guys are enjoying this and you're getting some value. I'm trying to talk on the strategy level so that you can also get value, even though you're just hearing me. But I want you to see that your success in social advertising is your ability to get your goals, content, and targeting together, mainly 15-second and 60-second, right? 1-minute videos that you're collecting from your customers where you're talking about your business and how you got started, or you're sharing your knowledge about how your product or service is being done, behind the scenes kind of stuff. Your ability to collect those goals, content, and targeting and get them into the system. You load them up into the system. So the loading up into the system is not where the expertise or power is. As I just showed you by walking through Facebook, TikTok, and Snapchat, the interfaces are similar enough that I even get confused and I'm not sure like which one I'm in because they're so similar. The loading of that, the mechanical administration of ad accounts is not a pro level thing. This is an admin thing. The pro, the expertise, the value is the collection of the goals, content, and targeting, which is on you as the business owner, entrepreneur, marketer. You cannot hire an agency to do that part. I mean, you could hire a kid to come into your office or to collect stories, or like you see, we have 150 virtual assistants that are collecting stories for, these pet owners and people who have, faces on their socks. But that's done by VAs that are making a few dollars an hour. So ultimately, the value is in your strategy. So if you really understand your goals, content, and targeting, and put that into these buckets, you can then have your administrative sorts of people, VAs or whatnot, upload those into whatever the ad platform is. It could be, Pinterest or Quora or LinkedIn or YouTube, right? It's all the same thing. I think people are missing this. For some reason, people think like, oh, I need to have a Facebook ads expert. No, you don't. I just logged in and I showed you how the ads are organized. I just showed you that once something's working, you just keep it going and you put more money on it. And you take that winner from Facebook and you copy it into Snapchat and TikTok. Now, do you need to know all the mechanics of exactly how it's being done? No, just have someone who knows how to do that all day long do that. And it's not worth your time to mess around, right? It's not worth your time to try to assemble IKEA furniture or try to do something that is not difficult to do. And it's just tedious. And I don't want to say it's a low wage thing to do, but it kind of is, right? I don't think any of us as pros or entrepreneurs where our time is valuable, I don't think any of us should be messing around really with the mechanics of, uploading ads. And no offense to people who are video editors and they're really good at a Premiere or After Effects. Hey, there's some skill there, but I don't want to learn how to do that. I don't want to learn to edit video. I just want to produce the video and then know that a video editor can follow our template and load the thing up. And is there room for creativity? Maybe, not really. I just need them to load the stuff up, right? If I want to be architecting a mansion, I don't need to learn how to nail the hammers in or how to lay the roof or how to do those, put the drywall in or paint the walls. I don't need to learn how to do that kind of stuff because that's not where the value is. As a business owner, I just need to make sure my strategy is right, meaning my goals, content, and targeting, those ingredients that we put inside the machine, and I hire other people to build the machine. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on this because I think it goes counter to what most people are saying. Like, put it in the chat or in I guess our
we do have some
Clubhouse,
questions.
Clubhouse friends are not able to add into the chat because you guys are in listen only. But I'd love to see what you guys think about this because I don't believe in the YouTube strategist or the whatever. I don't believe in the channel level expert. So the Instagram ads person, there's going to be people that are in the next year, you'll see these new people pop up like, oh, I am the TikTok ads expert. No, you're not. There's no Facebook ads expert. There's no Twitter ads expert. All there is strategy. And your strategy, once you collect these items, then you just have someone load it into the machine across all the platforms. Okay, I see some questions here. All right. Daniel says, how do you get the winner? Well, the winner is whatever your lowest cost per conversion is, provided it's statistically significant. So ideally, 50 plus conversions for that particular ad. And the beauty is that the system's going to tell you what the winner is. Don't make a decision when there's only 1 or 2 conversions. That's noise, right? That's not statistically significant. Kaylee says, would it be silly to run retargeted ads on Snapchat and TikTok if you don't actively maintain an account on those platforms? That is a great question. No, it's not silly. When was the last time I posted a TikTok or posted something on Snapchat? Years ago. But I'm a business person. I want to drive sales and conversions. I'm not going to. Now, I know the pure TikTok folks are going to say, yes, it's not just singing and dancing and all that, but I'm not a consumer of the platform. I'm here for sales. There's a difference between being a passenger on the airplane versus being a pilot. I'm a pilot. But a lot of people who think they're passengers, they think they're qualified to fly the plane. No, you're not. Just because you're on TikTok all the time doesn't mean you're qualified to run ads. Just because you're on Facebook and you're hanging out with your friends and seeing what your grandma's doing or, whatever it is, doesn't mean you're qualified to run Facebook ads. So I'm here from a business standpoint. And TikTok and Snapchat, as you saw, are intentionally not linking those items together like Facebook did, which I think is partly what's gotten Facebook in so much trouble, because they've linked them together. You literally, as you saw, we were running Snapchat and TikTok ads independent of whatever is, like, we're not even associating it with you can't, well, actually, technically you can. There's something called an agency account, which is very hard to get a hold of. But you're running ads on TikTok as an advertiser, and it has nothing to do with your Snapchat or TikTok account. Isn't that cool? I think that's a smart move. Working with TikTok and Snapchat, I can see why they did that. At some point later, maybe they will say, hey, you can take your best snaps and TikToks and boost them and put ads against it. But I think that just creates more confusion right now. Facebook's already out the gate on that, so it's too late on that one. The cat's out the bag on that. And the other part is that I'll tell you one thing. So I was with our buddy G, who has something like 13 million views on TikTok. He's an actual TikToker. He's an influencer. He does the singing and dancing and all that. And he said, you know what we should do to promote the TikTok ads course we're building for TikTok? We should do a whole bunch of TikToks. We should teach the course in TikTok, because what better way to teach TikTok than using TikTok? And it sounds like a great idea, right? Especially if we're teaching TikTok ads, we can take these different moments. Here's how you set up your audiences. Here's how you do retargeting. Here's how you do the creatives. Here's how you bid. Here's how you do these different things as a TikTok. Sounds like a great idea, right? Guess what? Our advertisers, our business owners are not on TikTok or Snapchat. Are you? Are you guys hanging out on TikTok and Snapchat? I didn't think so. I'm not doing that. But I absolutely, if I can get an extra 20% or 30% on whatever is already working for me, I'm going to do that. So if Facebook ads are working for you, you're going to get a little bit more from TikTok and Snapchat. Just like if Google ads are working for you, you're going to get a little bit more out of Bing and Yahoo, right? But if your search ads aren't working, if your SEO isn't working on Google, then stop trying to SEO or do ads on Bing and Yahoo. You see what I'm saying here? Get it working on Facebook, then copy the winners over into TikTok and Snapchat. And the demographic might not align exactly the same because your audiences are somehow different, or it's B2B, you have software, or your product is maybe you don't think it's suited for TikTok or Snapchat. But I promise you, even though the match rate's lower, it's just like saying, oh, well, this thing works, it works well on Google search, but it's not going to work well on Bing search or on Yahoo search. Yes, it will. The audiences are smaller, but they're still there. Paul, you got some questions?
I've got some questions. Yeah, so I will be trying as much specific as possible for the e-commerce audience. So I've noticed on your screen that your strategy is just to organize the ads account with engagement and then remarketing and bidding for the conversions for the lookalike audience. If we'll have let's imagine we have $1,000 as a budget for the account, how would you plan it? In percentage, typically what type of percentage goes to engagement to grab the audience, and how much percent into the conversion? That's number one question.
Yeah, the budgeting by stages is a good question. Over time, you'll eventually settle at about 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. However, when you start, you're going to start by driving conversions for several reasons. One is that you need to make money. And when you make money, you're going to be able to spend more money and reinvest those profits. Number two is that you need to send the clearest signal of conversion into the system. So I don't want to just pollute the system with a bunch of people watching videos, clicking on things. I want the system to know who's converting. So I'm seasoning that pixel with conversions that are coming through, that aren't coming through my ads, but are just coming through the system, which the pixel can see. And I'm driving conversions by running remarketing. So I'm starting with bottom of funnel campaigns, and then when that's working, I expand into lookalike audiences for the mid funnel, and then all the way up to the top where I'm running much larger video view audiences against, not video view audiences. I'm running top of funnel content with conversion as the objective. So I'm stacking my way up the funnel, but I'm starting with making money at the bottom of the funnel. And that's going to be true across every network that we're doing advertising. And It certainly makes sense. We need to make money in the ads. And if you haven't already, you're going to take the catalog you have. So for eCom, take your catalog, and that's what you're going to run on TikTok, Snapchat, and Facebook, your product catalogs. And so those create something called dynamic ads. Same thing for Google, right? Dynamic ads.
Yeah, so basically that was another question in my list. It's about the product feeds. For your e-commerce clients, are you actively maintaining those campaigns with the product feeds for dynamic ads?
Dynamic ads is the system's automatically choosing based on what people are looking at. I mean, certainly you can enhance your catalog with better images and better descriptions and more things, because you can have multiple images for Facebook, for example, to choose from. So I think a lot of the optimization is there, but if your plumbing's in place, which is all the tracking and whatnot, if you already are driving sales, then the ongoing management is just updating the catalog. And, as you have new products, as products go away, as you can add more images and descriptions for those products. And there are third-party tools, as you guys know, that help maintain those feeds for you.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know, from my experience, Facebook, like a lot of business owners, they discontinue Facebook ads because they don't really see like much profit out of it. Do you have like specific in mind, like in niches when you try to run an ads and that was not really successful? Like, because the sample that you show me about like a pets photos, it's kind of engaging, social, right? But
Oh,
if
yeah.
I'm
Works for pets. It won't
yeah,
for work for me, but you're showing a pets example. So of course it's going to work on social media and drive sales. It'll work for anybody as long as you can tell a compelling story and it resonates with the audience. Most people that do e-com, they're so product level focused on features and the images. They forget to tell the story. They can't do video. So you need a combination of videos and you want to humanize it. Take your top influencer. Take the top user that you have, take the founder, tell some compelling stories. Do like what the Kickstarter version is, right? All the people that tell a Kickstarter and get people interested. So you need that kind of content. It's not because, oh, I tried Facebook ads and it didn't work. It's that I didn't have the right content to put into the machine, right? So really understand your customers. What you could do is get the last 10 people who have purchased and get them on a Zoom and ask them about how they're using the product, how they like it, why did they choose, why did you buy from me XYZ products, right? And capture that, get with their permission, of course, and turn those into stories and say, wow, that was so helpful. Do you mind if we share that, what you said, on our social media? And of course they say yes. And now you can use it as ads.
that's smart.
All day. See, the issue is not that the golf clubs are faulty that causes you to hit the ball into the bushes. The issue is you don't know how to use the golf clubs, right? You need to learn how to use it. It's not the tool. I promise you it's not the tool.
So okay, gotcha. So like as a specific sample, right? I don't know. Let's imagine I'm selling like a furniture, right? Like that type of brand, right? Like, would you? This is just as a sample. What type of content would you suggest to the business owner who sell furniture?
Yeah.
I just kept it out of my mind. All right.
We have a call we have to both be on that we're already 1 minute late for, but I'll answer this question. You probably know we did this for the largest furniture manufacturer in the world and the largest furniture retailer, which is Ashley Furniture. And what we did was we literally had stories of the sales reps in the stores and with the customers talking about their favorite piece of furniture and how they like this couch. And one guy would say, this is my go around. When we grew up, we had a go around. I think it's called a living room sectional, but we called it a go around. And on Sunday afternoons, we play, watch football, and Alabama would play, whatever it is they'd say. They're just telling stories. And we found that drove people into the stores, where we're humanizing it. So we're not just showing product shots, but we have humans that are talking about how they like the product in a non-testimonial, kind of a fun way. And we use even like those Alabama stories we used in Seattle and we used in New York and other places where there's clearly no people who talk, who talk like that aren't there, in Chicago, right? But it works, and we're just humanizing it, and it's worked super well. Just lots and lots of little 1 minute stories on the cell phone. If you're an e-com person, you need to talk to your customers and collect their feedback. It's that simple. Put up a whole bunch of these like you saw. We had thousands of them there, and you'll find a bunch of them will win. Now, just because you put your first ad out there and it sucks, it doesn't mean Facebook sucks. You're typically going to find 1 in 10 of your ads, of your creatives, is going to work. So you might need 30 or 40 creatives, and you get 3 or 4 winners. When you have those winners, you just let them run and run and run and run and put several $1 million against them.
Gotcha.
There you go. We are late for another meeting, Mr. Paul, you and I.
Let's do this way. Can you type over here on the live chat your email address? And who knows if there will be an audience with the extra question, they can probably reach out to you guys. All right.
Yeah, if you want, one last thing. If you want the coupon code to get the $150 on Snapchat and TikTok, I think it's $200 on TikTok, message Stephanie at blitzmetrics.com and she will send you the coupon. Now, you don't have to start advertising. Just claim your account now, and then we will give you our ads course and we'll walk through together in more detail how to set up those courses. Okay?
Sounds good.
Awesome, guys.
Thank you guys for joining us, and have a good day then.